and welcome to Sacred Spaces. My name's Michaela Dreberg, and today we're doing things a little bit differently. We're in Adelaide. So we're right in front of the South Australian Health and Medical Research Institute. It's a new institute that just opened in December 2013. So we're really lucky to have gone slightly west, and we're sharing a little bit more of what Australia has to offer in what is really innovative, groundbreaking design. I'm joined today by Suresh Dillon, who's here with us from Woods Bagot, and then also Mortice Jacotzi. Did I say that right, Mortice? And he's here from DORMA. And now, both those names might seem fairly familiar with you because this isn't their first joint project, is it?
No, I guess Woods Bagot and DORMA here in Adelaide worked on multiple projects as far as the convention centre and the city central towers of recent as well.
Yeah.
And as far back...
long history of collaboration actually between the two companies, and I think it goes way back to when I first started. Really.
Oh, yeah, so I haven't been that far back, but yeah, it's been a strong relationship, DORMA and Woods Bagot in this state for many, many years.
Yeah.
And some really groundbreaking buildings that you've worked on that have really shaped Adelaide in particular. I mean, we had a look at the NAB building in Melbourne, but Adelaide, this is a huge key feature behind us, isn't it?
Oh, from a DORMA perspective locally, it was awesome to be able to work with Woods Bagot on this one because everyone knows the building in Adelaide. I guess it's one of our, I mean, apart from the Adelaide Oval and so forth, but the most recognised building as well in the city now.
That's it, and it's right next to what will be the Royal Adelaide Hospital as well. So tell us a little bit, Suresh, how did this project come to be?
Well, it was. It started off as an incentive, I guess, from the federal government. Allocated $200 million to the state to develop a world-leading health and medical research facility, and that was the catalyst, I guess, for this building and the evolution of this building. We had a very good brief as well, very exciting brief from the state on what we were trying to create here. And the aim was to actually create a world-class facility that would be the centre of research and in South Australia, but also it would allow, it would actually be a facility that would be recognised on the world stage as well, and would attract researchers from all around the world to come and perform their research here within South Australia.
So not only is this institute, finding new research is changing people's lives, really, enhancing health and well-being in Australia and beyond, but it's an award-winning building. So it looks gorgeous as well, and it's highly recognisable. And in fact, I did have someone tell me on my way here, oh, you're going to the Pineapple. And I've also heard it referred to as a spaceship and a cheese grater, but the facade, which is very, very distinct behind us, was actually modelled on a pine cone. Is that right?
That's right. I mean, we looked at, there were a lot of inspirations, I guess, that we were looking at. And in the end, it kind of developed as that. It was looking at nature, looking at how nature sort of skins on elements in nature and how they perform. The pine cone, I guess the ideology behind it came about from that sort of study, and also looking at what would work best in terms from an environmental point of view as well. So there's a lot of research done within Woods Bagot with our offices in Melbourne and also in New York to develop the actual facade. A lot of computer programming, computer simulations, and all that, sun studies. So these sort of elements kind of came together, and all these brains sort of came together as well from globally within our company to actually come up with this fantastic building.
And it is a gorgeous building, and I'm dying to look inside. But before I do, Mortice, from a DORMA perspective, what do you think is one of the key features? What's your proudest moment of this building?
Well, from our point of view, we've used a great deal of the full range of DORMA's superior products, from the automatic door operators to our range of architectural hardware fittings, which are things like door handles, locks. We've got some special full-height Matanos entry pull handles on a lot of the doors. I mean, it represents a lot of the DORMA products that we're proud of and, have got great longevity and are superior in the range.
And just another amazing multi-award winning joint project between Woods Bagot and from DORMA. Yes. Well, let's go have a look-see.
Okay, great.
Well, Suresh and I are now in the foyer of this building, and I've just found out it does have a fancy acronym name. So it's SAHMRI, is that right?
That's right, it's SAHMRI.
Known affectionately to the locals?
Yes, as the Pineapple.
And SAHMRI. Yeah. So we're in the foyer, and it's so much more than a foyer. I mean, you get to see the facade from the inside, which is eye-catching enough, but it's just so open and transparent and just airy as well. So what was some of the thinking behind this foyer?
Well, part of the brief for the building was I mean, it's meant to be a building for the community itself, and we didn't want to have the traditional sort of research labs in terms of which was very insular, and you couldn't see what was going on inside the building. This is a building that's designed for the community, and the product that will come out of this building will benefit the community locally as well as globally. So the whole idea was to have research on display. So the building's designed to have that sort of transparency, and you're able to actually look through the building and see research going on inside. This foyer space is a classic space as well because it's because of the way the facade's been designed. We've ended up with a huge sort of volume of space here, where we have there are no columns. It's actually quite open, quite airy, as you said, and it promotes that sort of culture, I guess, in terms of having that sort of transparency. As you come in above us, you can actually see the links between the laboratory spaces, and so you'll be able to see researchers moving across from lab to lab as well. And down here is also display space. As you can see, SAHMRI's put up a number of displays to promote what goes on within the building, and that's what the aim of the space is. It's to inform the public of what the building's all about, how it's benefiting the community at large.
Excellent. So shall we go have a look at one of these labs as well?
Yeah, definitely.
Okay.
Welcome back. Suresh, we seem to have lost Michaela. She may be outside improving her suntan, maybe, or
probably
enjoying a coffee in lovely Adelaide. But anyway, we've walked back into this lovely building, and where have we ended up?
We're actually in the auditorium at the moment. So this is where it's a collaborative space, another one of those collaborative spaces, where SAHMRI plan to do a lot of presentations on research and what they're doing. Also, this has got the full sort of connection, I guess, to broadcast what they're doing here to the foyer space, as well as globally to another facility, so that they can actually share their research and improve on their collaboration as well.
Is this one of many areas like this, or is this the main?
This is the main one. Yep. Within the building, but right throughout the whole building itself, or whole facility, there are a number of these sort of spaces, but at a smaller scale, okay, that have been set up.
Right. Okay. No, it is. It's a great view, and looking over the horizon, it's great to see where we're sitting and so forth. And I guess, should we go look for Michaela possibly?
I think we should. She might be lost.
We found each other again, Suresh.
Yes, definitely. Where did you get to?
I went missing, and here I am now in another level of this wonderful building. And where are we?
We're on level 5, so this is one of the wet laboratory spaces, and where you can see in terms of the design of the facilities as well as we've got the laboratory sort of more internal, and then it kind of opens out onto a workspace area where we get a lot of natural daylight coming through as well. So this helps in terms of the lighting of the building and the energy efficiency of the building as well.
Not to mention a bit of inspiration in the amazing views as well.
Yeah, definitely. And the whole space is designed to have that sort of collaboration, that sort of links between different research groups. So as you can see, it's quite open. We're just walking past the atrium space at the moment, and you've got high visibility right through, a lot of natural daylight coming through, and a high visual connection with the laboratories as well.
So talk us through a little bit more about the laboratories. One of the things you mentioned was wet and dry areas, but just the flexibility as well that was involved.
Yes. So the laboratories are designed on a modular basis, so it's quite easy to adjust the labs to suit the types of research that SAHMRI will be performing. And because this research is always evolving, so the building has to be able to adapt to those needs.
And so you mentioned before the natural light, and this being the atrium, and this is such a gorgeous feature to have in a building, but I think, it's out of the norm for a research facility, and so inspiring, and just the connectivity that you mentioned, but just the different environment to work in. So what's some of the feedback you've had from some of the researchers here?
Oh, it's been great. The facility itself has attracted a lot of researchers. In fact, there's such a high demand, they've actually had to turn people down for spaces within the building. the building itself, I mean, generates a lot of interest, and I've had feedback from people who've brought their kids here who said, "Oh, wow, you know, I'd love to work in a building, you know, in this building when I grow up." So it kind of has that impact of actually exciting new generations of researchers as well to take up that skill and that sort of future, I guess, in terms of developing that research culture and exciting kids about research as well.
Well, we're back together again after our whirlwind tour of SAHMRI. And where are we now, Suresh?
So we're on the level 4 cafe space, and this is one of the larger collaborative spaces within the building. So this, from this space, you can actually have links right through to all of the laboratory floors. So this is a secured space that you can't sort of get up here as a general public. But what you see, I mean, the key feature of this space is obviously the spiral stair behind me, which links all of those floors down, and it encourages the staff to actually use that stair to move up and down. And while they're moving up and down, I mean, it actually encourages obviously fitness as well within the building. You know, it also means that they have a lot more opportunity to bump into other people as they're walking up and down throughout the building. This space itself has been designed for that purpose. So there's a lot of areas where you could plug in your computer, you could work, you could sit down with your colleagues and work. It gives you the opportunity to accidentally bump into other researchers within the facility, and these sort of spaces, collaborative spaces, is one of the key sort of driving factors of the way the building's been designed as well.
And let's just go back to that staircase, because it's quite unusual to see a staircase through a number of different levels. I've seen it before in maybe 1 or 2 levels internally, but not exactly how many levels is it?
It connects level 4 right through to level 8. And these are, yeah, so it's quite a few levels, and it's all of the floors, the research floors that we have within the building. And as we said, I think it was an essential part of the design of this atrium space itself, you know, because it actually allows that interaction between the different researchers within the building.
And it's made out of an unusual feature, or unusual material, I should say.
No, it's actually made out of plasterboard. The actual cladding around it, and it was a great sort of achievement, I guess, from the trades that were worked on. It had a lot of skill and a lot of time that they put into it. We went through a number of different options to look at how we could actually clad the stair, and this turned out to be the best sort of option that to achieve the look and the feel that we wanted with this monolithic sort of structure, right? That sort of links everything within the building together.
Well, I've been ignoring you, Morris. Please accept my apologies. But one of
I reckon Suresh should do a better job.
you're both doing a fabulous job, and I mean, one of the things I wanted to ask you both is, from such a magnificent building, I know it'd be hard, but if you had to choose one sacred space within here, what is a space that really stands out to you?
I'm going to steal your thunder, Suresh, but I do like this level. I think it's a lovely space with natural light, the cafe's there, and the awesome staircases behind us. So I think this will be an awesome place to hang out.
Something that DORMA would no doubt be really proud to be a part of.
We'll be putting this to the board and seeing if they can maybe give us a place like this.
Yeah.
And Suresh, I know you can't play favourites, but if you had to, where would it be in here?
No, there's so many features of this building that I think are quite unique and quite exciting to experience. But I have to agree with Morris. I mean, this space itself is kind of what the building's about. I mean, it shows that sort of level of connection, I guess, that we're trying to achieve within the building. The transparency as well. You know, the general public can actually look through the building, and you can see the great views and the great transparency that we have through here, and see the type of work that's going on within the building. So yeah, definitely I would say the space.
Well, thank you so much for sharing your time with us today. Thanks for lending us your interview skills as well, Morris. It's been fabulous to be here in Adelaide and to really showcase what is a beautiful building, the South Australian Health and Medical Research Institute, or SAHMRI. And just one last collaborative project, a recent one I should say, from Woods Bagot and DORMA, and no doubt we've got more in the future to see as well. So thanks for having us. My name's Michaela Drebeck, and we'll see you next time.